Just talking about it, I'm still excited.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So if there was a shark next to me when I went through the tank, I have no clue. This is our first ever hot chocolate travel chat, and I'm super excited to have my first guest on, my mom. We have been on 14 cruises together, and I think you've been to at least 20 countries because I've been to 34.
Yes.
And we've only done one cruise apart from each other. So I did one cruise without her, she did one cruise without me.
Yes.
Usually when we cruise, people think that we're sisters, and today we ended up twinning with our hairstyles, which is really awesome. We are super excited to talk to you about the Oasis of the Seas. It's a cruise ship by Royal Caribbean, one of their biggest.
Yes.
And we did it with some of our really good family friends. They are just the best.
Before that, we went to a camping trip with the family, which you'll see on another video.
I don't plan on sharing those photos. I look so bad in those pictures.
Did you?
Yeah. We probably won't share those photos.
Okay.
But we did spend a lot of time camping with our family. We ended up doing like a 14-mile bike ride in Tennessee with an aunt and uncle. Then we went to visit another aunt and uncle in Atlanta, Georgia, and explored around there, and it was so much fun. We did like the Coca-Cola factory. And
yes, sometimes when we leave Alaska, what we try to do is just make the best of the trip. You know, we travel far, so we did a family reunion, and of course we ended up doing things on our own, like Lady said, you know, exploring Atlanta. And but when you leave Alaska, you just want to make sure that you pack in as much as you can. So we were in 4 different states and a cruise.
4 different states and 4 different countries on this trip, which is really, really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So then after meeting with our family in Atlanta, we flew to Orlando, Florida to meet up with our family friends, Randy and Jordan, and they're just the best. You know that experience when you first get on a ship? Where you're like, oh my goodness, we're going to be on this ship and it's going to be like our home for the next week, right? This ship, it was different.
It was different.
Because it was just so massive.
It was huge.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it was crowded.
No, it really didn't.
Yeah.
It really didn't. It felt really, I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird in like the best way. I know that's an interesting way of explaining it, but it really was. It was big, it had so many different things that you could do.
Yes.
But it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
The only thing I will say is to get from one activity to another, depending on where it is on the ship, you will burn so many calories because the ship is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And at the time we took this cruise, we were in good shape.
Yeah.
I did not mind walking from one end to the other, and I actually thought it was thrilling. So, but it did take time to go from one end to the other.
Like if I had to do that now, that'd be a different story.
We like to dress up in the evening and to go to dinner. And so when we're all dressed up, we didn't want to beeline a long way to get to the dining room. So we tried to strategically choose rooms that are close to the dining room as possible.
So the first day that we were on that cruise, we just explored the ship because it was so massive. There were things like the rock climbing wall. There was a pool in the back for the Aqua Show. There were just so many things on that cruise ship.
We took the first day to just orient ourselves to where things were, so that when we needed to get there throughout the week, we were very familiar with where to go, what to do. So the first day, that's what we did.
Yeah, and we ate. So part of our exploring on the first day was going on the carousel ride just because we could. There weren't any kids on it yet because it was just the first day of the cruise.
I wanted to do a rock wall on the cruise, but it was always full and waitlisted. So
we didn't plan that part appropriately. But I did do the rock wall on the Freedom of the Seas for my 21st birthday cruise. Yeah, so I have rock walled on a cruise, just not on this cruise.
And you know what's interesting is we had planned ahead, and remember we signed up early for the evening shows. Yes, so
we can't sign up ahead for this online.
Yeah, so we were proactive and signed up for a lot of things online except the activities.
So on the Oasis of the Seas, the way this ship is built, there are 2 columns outside. of rooms. So you have balconies on the outside, but balconies on the inside. And there are rooms on the inside balconies. So when you are booking a room, double check which balcony you're getting, because some of them are facing inside, so you don't get to see the ocean. Some of them are facing outside, so you do. But they're all outside balconies. It's just whether or not you're going to be people watching versus ocean watching.
Yes.
Yeah. So our first stop was Nassau, Bahamas, and we decided to go to Atlantis because we wanted a little bit of a water park.
Yes. And that was our second time in Atlantis.
Yes! The first time was on our 5-day cruise.
Yeah, 2014.
They do have like the lazy river and different rides that you can do. There is one where you you go on the slide and you go through a shark tank, and it's I don't know, everybody was like, the shark tank, the shark tank. To be honest, when I went on it, I was going too fast and I was so scared. My eyes weren't even open, so if there was a shark next to me when I went through the tank, I have no clue because my eyes were closed the entire time. So if I were to go back, I'd actually want to do the version of that where you're going on the inner tube because it's a lot slower.
Okay.
And then you can look around the shark tank to actually see if there are sharks in there.
So you didn't see any sharks?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I really didn't.
Okay.
And that was like the big draw of this place.
Yeah, in Atlantis, one of the things I liked was that you can go through the water park, but you can also sign up for other activities like the jet skis, and so even though the water park is small, you have the ocean, which is big, that you can continue to enjoy and do other activities.
Were the jet skis an additional cost?
Yes.
Okay, just curious. Because I feel like I'm going to get that question, like, oh,
Yes.
do you have to pay more? And I think you do.
You do.
But, you're just paying more for fun. Or put it in your budget before you go. Because then now you're aware, and then you won't have, like, your kids being like, but we want to. And you're like, well, I already budgeted for it, so yes, we can.
You should always budget for fun.
Yes.
Part of the allure of this Atlantis hotel is
Even
that...
though we were on the Oasis of the Seas and not
Oasis
the
is not the
allure.
allure.
Okay, sorry.
Part of the allure,
Yes.
you have an aquarium underneath the hotel. And throughout, when you're walking outside on the sidewalks, along the pathways, there's all types of little water areas where you can see some more sea creatures. Some people plant flowers. Atlantis has sea creatures all over.
Yes. So if you do have smaller kids, I think that's really cool because there is a place where there's this tunnel and then you can walk under, almost like underwater with your kids. And I thought that if I was a kid, it would have been a really good place to go.
Yes.
Just to get all that experience.
You're walking and the sharks are swimming above you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my favorite part. So we like to dress up when we go to dinner, and we like to dress similarly. So like our family will wear like all one color for dinner, and we told our friends, if you guys want to, we can all wear the same color for dinner when we dress up. Yes. So my friend Jordan, she saw the dress that I had, and she was like, you know what, lady, is it okay if I get the same dress? And I said, of course, because I don't mind matching people at all. So Jordan and I had the same dress. You had a different dress, but we were
But same color.
Yeah, same color. We were all in the same color, and we took the most gorgeous photos in Central Park that I think were just amazing. We found someone to take a photo of us as a group, and it was just really sweet, because I think when I think about cruising and dressing up, that's what I think about the most. Is our photo where we both have our legs crossed, sitting at the little bench. Yeah, it's a definite must. I think that's one of the best photos we've ever taken on a cruise in Central Park on the Oasis. So
one of the things, you keep talking about Central Park, and
oh yeah,
what is Central Park?
why don't you explain it?
Well, the Oasis has plants. One of their specialties is that they have plants, live plants all over the ship. And there is an area they call Central Park because it is dense with real foliage, and you can just enjoy a moment that reminds you of being in Central Park.
Yes.
It is amazing. I have been on a lot of cruises, but never one with that many live plants before.
Yes.
Just small flowers, but it was great, as you can see. Just being around there, it felt like you were in a park.
It really did. And there was a moment where it was nighttime and they had the best classical music playing.
Yes.
And at that moment, I thought of my Aunt Gwen and I told her, you know, if you go on a cruise, you have to do one of these ships or one of its sister ships because this is something that I think you would enjoy so much. And she and her husband went the next year.
Yes.
So, or was it the same year? I think they might have gone in September of that year.
I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I know that they went and she loved it anyway. So it was just like when I heard the music was in Central Park, she came to my mind and I was like, Auntie Gwen, you gotta do this.
Yes.
So she really enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. It's a different experience. It's nothing grandiose like ice skating or go-karting or ziplining, but that part of the cruise I think was very special for the fact that you're just like, you're taking a minute, relaxing, and just feeling like you're on vacation.
And it doesn't feel like you are on the ocean. It doesn't feel like you're on a ship.
No.
Yeah, it feels like you're sitting in a park benches. Boy, the technology that has gone into the irrigation system, it was explained to me. I don't remember it right now.
I know, right?
But it was, I was like, whoa. I can't believe that they did all of this to put it on a ship. Amazing.
It was. And in that area, they did have different places where you can eat. It was a specialty dining places, so we don't really do specialty dining on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So we didn't do those, but they also had, I had never seen this before on a cruise, a Tiffany & Co. in Central Park. To me, that was just like, what? We have Tiffany's on a cruise ship?
So we have this game, Settlers of Catan, that we play. Of course, we're on this ship, and what do our friends do? They break out the game.
Yes!
And we sit in just an open area, just playing the game. Do you know how many people came up to us? It's like, where can I get this game?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can sign out games from the ship, and it was like, no, we brought this from Alaska.
Yeah.
So
but they were so sad when they heard that. Like, they really thought they could get the game. Our next stop on the cruise was St. Thomas. And there's a place that people do excursions in St. Thomas where you can take a tram up to this little lookout point. However, we had a family friend pick us up and she took us around, so we didn't have to worry about the tram. She gave us a ride up there. She took us to the beach. She fed us some nice fish and what's known as Johnny cakes. I think the closest thing to describe them would be like a fried bread or like a biscuit kind of thing. But it's definitely a Caribbean dish, and it was just the best. Yeah. So in St. Thomas, Jordan got anklets for both of us, so we did get matching anklets while we were there. And what's funny is before filming this video, I found this, because I couldn't find it for the longest while. One of the first stops was St. Martin to go ziplining. And by this time, you had already done ziplining a few times, right?
in Mexico.
Yes. So if you want to hear about the experience of my mom ziplining for the first time, make sure to watch the video. It'll pop up on the screen or it'll be in the description box below because it is hilarious. Every time we tell the story, I mean, tears in the eyes kind of thing. So by this time, you're a pro at ziplining.
Yes.
That morning, I woke up with my eyes swollen because I had an allergic reaction to something.
Yeah.
So I was very embarrassed.
Bizarre.
I know. I've told that story a few times, but I had like some shampoo that I'd never used before and I woke up with my eyes swollen. I went back and looked at the photos to see if I would share it. I'm still not sure I'm comfortable sharing it, but I had to go. That was my first time going to the medical bay on a cruise. And they gave me Zyrtec for allergies, and I was just super embarrassed. I had like sunglasses on the whole day, which is great because you're on a cruise. Oh, on this ziplining trip, there is a woman there with her sons. So like say, we're gonna call her Sarah. Like her real name was Sarah, but they kept calling her Nancy. Yeah. And like everywhere we'd go, good job, Nancy, you got this, Nancy, keep going, Nancy. And I was just like, that's not my name, is what she kept saying. Like, keep calling me Nancy. That's not my name. It was so funny. We were like, okay. And then so when we knew her name was Sarah, but we just kept calling her Nancy too. Just because at that point it was a joke.
And I thought that was funny because I do have a friend in Alaska that I kept calling her Nancy.
That's why I chose that.
Yes.
I was like, that's her name for people.
I kept calling her Nancy, but her name was not Nancy. No. It was something completely different. For a whole year, I kept calling her Nancy.
And she was so sweet.
And she's just sweet. She has a great disposition, and she would always answer like she knew I meant her. And until about a year later, she says, my name's not Nancy. I was like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah. Too funny. funny. One thing that is special with this class of ship is that they do Broadway style shows.
Yes.
So on our cruise, they did show Cats as the feature show. I think on one of them they had Hairspray.
Yes.
On different ships. But yeah, so we did get to see Cats while we were on board. The Aqua Show. We haven't talked about the Aqua Show yet. I keep saying that. One of the coolest things.
So many cool things.
Yeah, there's so many cool things about this cruise ship. But the Aqua Show to me was just amazing.
Now that was the best of the best.
Yeah, it was so cool because on the back of the ship they have, and if you have a room that's in the back, you can probably watch it from your room, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, some people were sitting on their balcony and they're able to view the live show.
Yeah. Amazing. I honestly don't know how these athletes do it because the ship is constantly moving and constantly rocking. They're how many feet up in the air doing Olympic style dives into this 17-foot pool that just seems so tiny, but it was
just the synchronization of it all. Yeah. I was on pins and needles. I'm like, oh my gosh, because at one point they are, the things close so they can look like they're walking on water, right?
That's true. There's a platform that goes up and down.
And then there's somebody going to dive and then the platform opens.
Yes.
So then I'm like, open. I'm telling them, I'm talking to the tech guys while, I'm watching this show. I'm like, open. And then they do. And then it closes again. And then there's all kinds of dancing and synchronized moves going on. And I'm telling you, when I was done, I had a workout because I was totally thrilled. It was just like, it just took my breath away to watch them do, just watch them dive. And yeah, I'm still just talking about it. I'm still excited.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So if you want to see more videos like this, click the video that you see on your screen right now to get started.